Yeah. The truth is that the critical drinker does not drink alcohol. He drinks alcohol-free beer. Oh no! Okay, I'm messing with everyone. Let's get to the real topic. I noticed something about the critical drinker. It turns out that he never watches what he actually reviews. How can you review something without watching it? Well, it's very simple. The critical drinker goes to Wikipedia, reads the basic summary of the movie or TV show that he talks about in his videos. He also goes to Rotten Tomatoes, looks at the audience score to decide if the movie and TV show is good or bad. He did a rant video about The Boys season 4, and in the video he admits that he stopped watching Boys in the middle of season 3. The guy has not watched a single episode of the new season of The Boys, and he made a 10-minute long rant video about it. How do you make a rant video about something that you have never seen? How does that make any sense? Well, it turns out that critical drinker never has to watch the thing that he's about to review because all his opinion is based on the Rotten Tomatoes audience score, which is absolutely insane. You're a channel with what, 2 million subscribers? And you don't even review the shit that you are supposed to review? Anyways, I'm gonna play the clip of this guy admitting that, yeah, I never watched The Boys season 4.
I kinda checked out after season 3, partly because I was pretty burned out with superhero stories in general, even shows that subverted the genre, and partly because I could see the way The Boys was heading as a creative property. What was once rebellious, subversive, and irreverent had become just another mouthpiece for the safe, corporatized, hollow, and performative activism that it once so brutally mocked. So I wasn't exactly brimming with excitement at the prospect of sacrificing another 8 hours of my increasingly limited lifespan for the new season. Frankly, I've got better things to do with my time. But hey, maybe they managed to turn things around. I mean, Stranger Things was drinking at the Last Chance Saloon for me after a disastrously bad season 3, only for the showrunners to listen to fan complaints and come back with an absolute banger of season 4. Maybe we'd actually get something similar here. So it was off to Rotten Tomatoes for me to check out the reviews. Not the critic reviews, of course. I'm talking about the audience reviews, which is the only semi-reliable barometer for quality these days, and oh. I mean, the audience scores had been gradually declining from an all-time high of 90% in season 1 to 75% by season 3, but that's kind of in line with most shows, to be fair. But there's no denying that season 4 absolutely fell off a cliff. Good lord, I don't think I've seen a fanbase turn so hard on any show since Game of Thrones. Look through the reviews and you'll see page after page of absolutely brutal write-ups, all saying basically the same thing. The general consensus is that the show seems to have sacrificed writing quality and smart characterization in favour of simplistic shock value and cheap political point scoring.
Here's what I don't understand at all. The critical drinker can review absolute garbage like Star Wars Acolyte. Now, I haven't watched Star Wars after the god-awful Obi-Wan show. I mean, that show was lazily done. It was the most lazily done show I have ever seen in my life. No effort at all. Obi-Wan show was absolute garbage. Filled with plot holes and retcons, it was just horrible from start to finish. And I'm not watching anything from Star Wars ever again after that. But the critical drinker has reviewed every single episode of Star Wars Acolyte, and I have heard from trusted people that Star Wars Acolyte is somehow even worse than Obi-Wan. Now, I have never seen it, I'm never going to watch it, I don't care about it. But if it's worse than Obi-Wan TV show, then it has to be one of the worst things ever created on the planet. And the critical drinker takes his time, his valuable time, to watch, review and rant about Star Wars Acolyte. Yet he won't take the time to watch Boys Season 4 when he makes a review about it. Instead, he bases his entire review on a Rotten Tomatoes audience score, which is absolutely ridiculous. And this clown has 2 million subscribers. What the heck? But if this wasn't bad enough, I'm gonna prove that The Boys Season 4 review that he did was not the only time this guy has done a review, and he has clearly never watched the TV show or movie that he is talking about. I'm gonna talk about his One Piece Netflix review next. I did a review for the One Piece Netflix TV show. When you watch my review, you can clearly see that I have seen what I'm talking about. I talked about the plot of the first episode, talked about what I liked, what I didn't like. I talked about what was different from the manga. I talked about how the characters are different from the manga. I talked about how the story was different from the manga. I also talked about what made the first episode better in some cases, like Zoro killing that one character. Zoro killing that guy never happened in the manga, it was completely off screen. There were a lot of moments in the live action TV show that were a lot different from the manga. But I said that the first episode was pretty good. I think I gave it like 7 or 8 out of 10. The Critical Drinker made a review for the One Piece Netflix TV show. When you watch his review, you can clearly see the guy has not watched a single episode of the One Piece Netflix TV show. Like, it's so obvious to anyone with ears and eyes that are working. He talks about the plot of One Piece. Luffy wants to become the Pirate King and he wants to gather a crew together and he needs a ship and he needs to sail the Grand Line and he needs to find the One Piece treasure. That's all he talks about. He talks about the basic plot of the One Piece manga. He doesn't mention anything that happened in the Netflix TV show, and I said that the TV show is a lot different from the manga. A lot different. TV show made a lot of changes to the manga. The guy did not mention any of the changes. The guy did not mention literally anything from the TV show. All he did was talk about the basic plot of One Piece. You can just go on Wikipedia, find the basic summary of the One Piece manga, and read it. And that's exactly what the Critical Thinker did. I am like 100% sure that Critical Thinker did not watch a single episode of the Netflix One Piece TV show.
First, let's dive right into the plot summary. So One Piece takes place in a fictional world that's divided up into 2 massive oceans with a thin strip of land running between them, and it's run by a tyrannical one-world government known as the, World Government.
It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Fair enough, I guess. So anyone who doesn't submit to their rule is automatically branded a pirate regardless of their privateering activities and ruthlessly hunted down by the Marines. And the story kicks off with the capture of the most famous pirate of them all, Gold Roger, who reveals that he's hidden the ultimate treasure, the One Piece, somewhere out there in the ocean, ultimately kicking off a mad scramble to find it. Flash forward 20 years or so and people are still out there hunting for the One Piece, including Monkey D. Luffy, a young wannabe pirate who intends to sail into a treacherous patch of ocean known as the Grand Line, where he believes that the One Piece has been hidden. The only problem is he doesn't have a ship, or any idea where the One Piece actually is, or even where the Grand Line can be found.
Not a great plan.
Yeah, in case you hadn't noticed, Luffy's not exactly big on planning ahead, but that's kind of what makes him so endearing. He's the ultimate happy-go-lucky, fly-by-the-seat-of-your-pants adventurer who just figures things out as he goes. Anyway, through his various misadventures, he eventually joins forces with Coby, a timid cabin boy who dreams of becoming a marine so that he can protect the innocent, Nami, a thief and safecracker with a hidden agenda, Zoro, a mysterious swordsman that's sworn to hunt down rogue pirates, and Usopp, a sniper and inventor who dreams of becoming a great warrior one day. And together they set sail across the high seas to cross the Grand Line and find the ultimate treasure, taking on monsters and rival pirate clans along the way, and always trying to stay one step ahead of the Navy and Marines that are hot on their tail.
According to the critical drinker, critical clown, as I like to call him, Coby is a member of the Straw Hats. And Sanji simply never existed. The fact that this guy has 2 million subscribers, this guy has more subscribers than the Red Letter Media best reviewers out there, is absolutely mind blowing. Yeah, so you heard it from him. All he does is talk about the basic plot of the One Piece manga, not the TV show. And according to him, there is no Sanji. Luffy wants to gather a crew. Zoro, Nami, Usopp, that's it. Sanji was not in the live action, according to Critical Drinker. You can tell this guy has never watched this TV show. How can you forget Sanji? Sanji's flashback in the live action was literally the best moment in the entire live action version of One Piece. It's literally the only episode I'm gonna give like 10 out of 10. Yeah, guys, Luffy is gathering a crew. Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and no one. There's no one else. There was no one else in season 1 of Netflix's One Piece, according to this clown. I am like 100% sure that the critical drinker has not watched a single episode from the One Piece TV show that Netflix did. Now the question I have is the following. How can you do rant videos about shit that you clearly have never seen? You have clearly never seen a single episode of the Netflix TV show, but you are going to talk about it? Oh, but it gets even worse. Believe it or not, it gets even worse.
And by all accounts, we mostly have Eiichiro Oda, the original manga's creator, to thank for that. Oda was smart enough to retain creative control when he signed the rights over to Netflix.
The critical drinker starts talking about Oda, the creator of One Piece. And here's the thing, okay, here's the thing. That's not Oda. He used an image of a random Japanese guy. He used an image of a random Japanese guy and called this guy Oda. He said that this random ass guy is Eiichiro Oda. This critical drinker, a reviewer, such a good reviewer, knows what he talks about. While talking about the One Piece, he uses the wrong image for the creator of One Piece. You have 2 million subscribers. Do you not do any research at all? The guy he uses as a background for the video where he claims that this guy is Oda, well, this guy is actually Aonuma. Aonuma is a famous video game developer. He created pretty much the entire Zelda franchise. And Critical Drinker thinks that this guy is Oda. Well, maybe all Japanese look alike to him, I guess. But yeah, he clearly never watched a single episode of the Netflix TV show, because all he did was talk about the basic plot of the One Piece manga, and then when he talks about Eiichiro Oda, he uses the wrong image. It's not even Oda. But if you think I'm done roasting this clown, no, I'm not done. If you think I'm done clowning on this clown, well, there's one more video I will talk about. He did a rant video about Rebel Moon Part 2. And in that rant, you can clearly see that he just read the Wikipedia summary and the Rotten Tomatoes audience score. He based his entire opinion on the Rotten Tomatoes audience score, just like he did with One Piece and The Boys Season 4. How do I know that his Rebel Moon Part 2 rant video, that he never watched the movie? Well, because if you watch his review, he doesn't know the name of any of the characters. He doesn't know the name of any of the organizations. All he knows is the basic plot that literally anyone can read off Wikipedia.
Wait, I'm gonna do the opposite of Rebel Moon here and try to be as quick and efficient with my review as possible. So, on with the plot summary. The movie follows on directly from the events of the first film. Strong female character has assembled the not-so-magnificent Seven to defend some shitty village at the ass end of nowhere from evil space empire, led by a man with possibly the worst haircut in all of cinematic history. Honestly, every time I looked at him, all I could think of was Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber, so let's just call him Evil Lloyd.
He starts the video talking about the main character. The main character is a strong female character. Why is the main character a strong female character? Well, it's obvious because the critical drinker does not know the character's name. And she leads a group of people whose name he also doesn't know. Evil empire that he doesn't know. He doesn't know what the name of the empire is. And then he shows the main villain and he doesn't know he doesn't know what the villain's name is. He's just like, I don't know this guy's name, but he has a goofy haircut. Just like Jim Carrey in that one movie. I'm gonna call him that character from that Jim Carrey movie because, well, I don't know his name. So he only talks about the plot for like 2 minutes. We're like 15 seconds in, and he doesn't know any of the characters' names. He doesn't know what the evil organization is, what the good guys' organization is. The guy doesn't know shit.
So after kicking Evil Lloyd's ass in the first movie, strong female character and the not-so-magnificent Seven return to Shitty Village to celebrate. Because, you know, losing one senior officer is clearly going to be enough to make this entire space fleet abandon their mission and go home. But oh no, it turns out that somehow Evil Lloyd returned.
Critical Drinker keeps calling the villain Evil Lloyd. Lloyd is a character from the Jim Carrey movie. Why does he call this villain Evil Lloyd? Well, he doesn't know the villain's actual name because he never watched the movie. He calls the main character strong female character because clearly he doesn't know the character's name. He calls her allies the not so magnificent Seven because he doesn't know any of their names. Because he never watched the movie, clearly. The main characters return to Shitty Village. What village? What is the name of that place? He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know the names of any of the characters, doesn't know names of any of the organizations in the movie, doesn't know name of any of the locations. Never watched the movie, clearly. This guy who literally bases all his opinions from a Rotten Tomatoes audience score and gets all his information from Wikipedia's summary of the movie has 2 million subscribers. What the fuck? You know what reviewers deserve more subscribers? Red Letter Media. I can't believe we live in a world where this clown, this complete joke reviewer, this guy who never reviews anything, all he does is watch Rotten Tomatoes audience score to make his decisions, has more subscribers than Red Letter Media. People have no taste at all.
In case you missed the first movie, in which case good on ya, it turns out that a galaxy-spanning space empire that's mastered faster than light travel and literally bringing the dead back to life doesn't know how to grow food and relies on peasant farmers to keep them from starving to death. Fuck off, film! And because this is a straight-up knockoff of Seven Samurai, it's up to strong female character and the not-so-magnificent Seven to plan some kind of defense to fight them off. I mean, you could probably just poison the grain or something, but whatever, let's just get on with it. So Evil Lloyd and his evil chums show up and they spring their trap and there's a whole bunch of fighting and a couple of the not-so-magnificent Seven get killed before strong female character sneaks on board Evil Lloyd's flagship and blows it up just before it fires its super weapon at the village. Then she kills Evil Lloyd permanently this time and goes back to the village to...
So literally the only thing he knows about the movie is the following. Evil guy whose name I don't know, his army that I don't know, the organization, the evil organization, I don't know their name also. Yeah, they're going to this village. I don't know what this village is called. And there are a bunch of people, a strong independent woman who is defending the village. I don't know her name also. But yeah, the entire plot of the movie is that they want to go to the village to steal the grain, all the grain from the village. Yeah, this guy clearly watched the movie. He knows what he is talking about. And then he starts talking about the first movie because first movie he probably saw. It's funny how when he talks about the first movie, he goes in detail talking about, well, this happened and that happened. But when he talks about the second movie, all he talks about is that these characters who I don't know, this village, I don't know anything about anything. All I know is that they want the grain from this village for some unknown reason. There's a whole bunch of fighting against the strong woman. Oh, and a couple of the guys die also. Yeah, that's it. That's the entire review. So this guy's entire review was 2 minutes long because he hasn't watched the movie. He just read the Wikipedia page. He read the summary for the movie. And then he went to Rotten Tomatoes to see if a lot of people hate the movie. He saw that the movie was hated. And he was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do a rant video because most people don't like it. Okay, I don't even have to watch the movie. I'm gonna go read it from Wikipedia, and then I'm gonna do a real quick shitty video about this movie. Yay! Yeah,